Hi, my name is Bianca Modo, and I am the Director of Membership for the Atlanta Council on International Relations. So I have an MBA in luxury and fashion management, and my undergraduate degree is in business. Well, I am born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. This is my home. I've lived a couple of other places, but currently I run a nonprofit organization in human trafficking. So twofold, we do prevention in human trafficking, and then we move survivors to thrivers. I am a brand strategist, so I work with corporate clients. I have a lot of Christian clients who run their own organizations, and then just individuals, nonprofit organizations, different backgrounds. And so I get to build their brands, help them to understand their identity, their core, and things like that. I have always been interested in other cultures. So I learned that I could pick up languages really, really easily. I'd meet people from different cultures. I'd volunteer a global peace festival. I did all of these things. And so I realized, I was like, oh, I have a little unction for this. And then just being able to, I moved around a lot as well. So I just met people from different backgrounds. And so, yeah, I've always had an interest of traveling. And then when I got the opportunity to go to Paris, I know a lot of people are like, you moved to Paris? I did. I moved to Paris for a year to go to school, but also just to be in a different culture. So before I went to school in Paris, so I did get my MBA at the Paris School of Business. Before that, I was working in government contracting. So I worked in government contracting for about 7 years. Our home office was here in Atlanta, and then we had an office in Afghanistan. And so that was kind of the first time that I had worked with an organization specifically that was working international at that level. We were pretty new, but we had a big contract for a first time contract. So I got to get in with HR, learning different accounting, business, project management, really get hands on. So my dad he has a federal background as well. And so he actually introduced me to the organization. There was a opening for the human resources role. And so that was what I was actually interested in. And then they met me and was like, you'd probably be really good with membership. Your personality would definitely fit more of our membership role. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a thing. But when I looked it up, of course, didn't realize that they were a 75-year-old organization. At the time, it's been a few years since then, but didn't realize, they'd been around so long, what it was that they were doing in the community. And I'll be honest with you, so I'm one of those people that I don't believe everything that the news tells us, especially here. And, we see it here in America. There's even different sides in America, right? And so to come to an organization and they said, no, we want people to see all sides. And I'm like, I like that. Because a lot of people are swayed by media and they feel like they only have to choose this side or this side. But we don't realize that there's a voice, there's a child's voice, there's people who have been in, these situations, who live in these situations, who work overseas in these situations. There are diplomats that truly know what's going on. There's just all types of, different backgrounds. And so when we start to see those perspectives, then it's like, oh, well, yeah, there's more to it. So that was really what I loved about ACIR. When Rita Joe Lewis, when she came, and I was super excited when we got when we were told that she was coming. I was like, oh my God, the president of the Export Import Bank is coming. She looks like me. I was super excited. And so what I love to hear, and she's so sweet. I got to talk with her. She gave me a hug. It was really genuine. That's definitely my most memorable. But just listening to her talking about import and export and how she got into what it is that she was doing, I think that has definitely, struck with me. In addition to like the diplomatic dialogues, I absolutely love the stories of how they got into their positions, like where they came from. I'm always asking them, like, how did you get into this role? And then it's always something different. They just started here, or somebody came along and, said, hey, we've got this position. Are you interested in moving to Ireland? And they're like, sure. So I love to hear those stories and those backgrounds. Absolutely. I'm probably going to say my board members and people like you, because we have these moments and we're able to kind of learn each other's backgrounds and help each other as far as what we are doing, like personally, like what we have going on. We're working on our own events within the organization, different strategies and organizations. And so I think for me, it's kind of like meeting people that are like you, that understand the way that you understand things, that are curious, like you're curious. I think that has been very beneficial for me, because I don't know, like I love y'all. Those relationships are important for me, because again, for example, I did have an event with my nonprofit, and it was a lot of people from the board and from ACIR that came to. We had a human trafficking art exhibition, and so being able to extend out my network and meet new people at these events, whether they're politicians or just retirees or whatever the case may be, I had a lot of people to support me in the nonprofit, and so that's important for me. Like, you show up for other people, they show up for you, and I love that. So for someone who is looking to attend an ACIR event for the first time, I would definitely tell them, first, do your research, look at some of the events that we've had in the past, and then kind of understand where it is. What's your career goals? What is it that you want to do? Because when you start to know what you want to do, what your career is, what are the gaps, what are the kind of things that you need to learn, especially in business. So I can speak as an entrepreneur and as someone who does want to work in export and import and things like that. If I don't understand what's going on, if I don't have a different perspective, if I only know what's going on the news, right? Now, again, I'm going to mention diplomatic dialogue being one of those one of those events that you are able to get a little bit closer. I mean, these are times when you get close to diplomats, you're not going to be able to get to any other time. I think that's really cool, in an intimate setting. And most of our events are intimate settings where you can ask questions. That's the great thing. You're not just, a fly on the wall, you can't get close to this person. Like, you can ask them some good questions and get a perspective that you may not have had before. And that, something that's curious, well, I saw this on the news. What's really going on? So first, what you're expecting when you walk into one of our events is my happy face. You will get to see, it's very warm. Like, everyone is really inviting, and I'm loving. And I think all the board members are really trying to interview and connect people, and hey, do you know this person? No, you don't know this person? Well, come on, and they work here. What do you do? It's very inviting, and it's a very connecting environment, and so you're definitely going to feel that, and then you're going to get fed. That's why I show up, most of the time. Is there food going to be there? We have really, really good food. Okay, Barcelona and Amsterdam. One, because the people are just amazing. The people in Amsterdam were so good. The food was amazing. It was really laid back, like I felt like it was Atlanta. Like, it's real laid back. You get to walk around. I like to walk. I don't know about any other people, but I'm like can we walk to all the different places? I went to some different nightclubs, and in the daytime, you're able to walk around. It's just see the museums and things like that. Barcelona has the best mojitos, if anyone cares.